All right, Rattlers, happy homecoming. All right, we're going to give a few more minutes just because we have so many people here. We're going to get everybody a few more minutes just to get settled. For those online, thank you. Bear with us. Happy homecoming. Please, if you're online, make sure you share and like and subscribe to our YouTube page. We would appreciate it. Good afternoon, Rattlers. I said, good afternoon, Rattlers. How y'all doing? All right, all right. It's homecoming week. I said it's homecoming week. Everybody pacing yourselves. Don't try to go to everything. Look like FAMU still adding on events as we go. One thing about FAMU homecoming, they have something for everybody. Once again, it's my pleasure to be in front of you, great Rattlers. Today is a special day because it's homecoming, but it's also our opportunity to let you all in on something. Um, a good friend of the FAMU Rattlers, who's been a good friend of the FAMU Rattlers, his former law partner, Darryl Parks, is here. Ben Crump he asked the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, as well as the 220 Quarterback Club, how he could help. So we have 5,000 toward the $1 million campaign from Ben Crump Law Firm. And also to the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, he did something very special. And we named it the Crump Gallery. How many people went to the Hall of Fame this past weekend? They got a chance, the first-hand look at the first phase of the Crump Gallery. There's so much more to come. But part of the Crump Gallery is to preserve the history of FAMU athletics. So this banner, lovely banner of Jake Gaither, this lovely banner of our quarterback, Eddie Jackson, several others, Althea Gibson, Andre Dawson. It's going to be our opportunity to continue to showcase our FAMU athletics greats, and we thank Attorney Ben Crump for his generous donation and his contribution toward the $1 million campaign. So thank you. Thank you, Ben. Friday night, the homecoming edition, and I'm upset that I can't be to this one. My goodness. Hold on. Frenchtown Rising. They have Angela Wimbush, hosted by Joe Bullard and DJ Little Boy, and headlining Confunction with Michael Cooper. My goodness. Frenchtown ain't gonna be the same. I love Silk Sonic and their remake, but they just can't sing it like Michael Cooper sing Love Train. I'm sorry. And they have table sponsorships available. See Joy. Joy, raise your hand. She's passing out the flyers. If you're interested in a table sponsorship, please see Joy. And is Colonel Joe here today? Okay. I'm going to imitate Colonel Joe in the short form. You know what Tuesday is? You know what we have to do? I did it the day after it opened up. I went early and I voted in 10 minutes and was done with it. But make sure you go out and vote on Tuesday. Vote like it matters, because it does. All right, I'd like to bring up the executive director. First, I'd like to bring up Zach Ansley real quick. Zach, he don't have his megaphone, but I bet in that stadium Saturday, in that stadium Saturday. And they had him on the scoreboard as the fan of the game, but that don't impress me because he's the fan of every game. For those who know him, Mr. Zach.
Thank you all. I'm here again. Today is the drawing day for that basket that was donated by Pat Gavin. There are over $220 in merchandise in that basket, FAMU merchandise. And she just asked us to raise as much as we can on those $10 donations to be donated to the FAMU Rattler Boosters. And we have, Selvin and I did talk to her, we've decided that we're going to take whatever the proceeds are and put them in our muscle milk program because it does support both women and men athletics. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we have this drawing at the end, please see Ms. Wilmer in the back, buy a $10 ticket. I sure like to get about $1,000 out of that basket. And with that being said, see Ms. Wilmer. And if you want to get more than $10 tickets, it's okay. We'll take that. And thank you very much.
All right, Deacon Matthews, can you come up, please?
Good afternoon. I just want to announce a $1,000 check for the $1 million campaign from Marvin Henderson and Gloria Henderson.
All right, y'all know when I start bouncing, when I start getting checks. All right. Nehemiah Chambers made another dedicated donation to his Grand Rattler campaign. Thank you, Mr. Chambers. You know, it's interesting that everybody knows about the $1 million campaign. So there was a particular barbecue place I went to the other day. And after I ordered, the owner walked from around his food truck and say, Vaughn, I got something to take you back, but I'm not interested in you giving my name out. I said, as long as you sign your name on the check, I won't say your name, but thank you for that great barbecue sandwich and that Grand Rattler check. Thank you. Harry Dimps and Devin Dimps, a check for $200. Tony McNeil's paying his Grand Rattler in two parts, and we got the first part today. Tony McNeil, thank you very much. $500 toward his $1,000. We got people sending money by other people. That's perfectly all right. It's in good hands. Make sure you know the person you gave it to. Once it gets here, we'll take care of it. Yvette Montgomery from Jacksonville, thank you very much for your donation. Wow. My friend Nard went collecting. Walter Renard Spencer from New Mount Zion Primitive Baptist on Miccosukee Road. Is that right? And St. Peter Primitive Baptist Church from Centerville Road. All right, first off, and they went and collected other checks. BT Performance Paint and Body, we got $100 from them. Somebody trusted Nard real good because they gave him cash. James and Rudy Dennis, we did receive it. James and Rudy Dennis, thank you. Tony and Doris James, we got $100 in from them. Johnny Dennis and Joseph Dennis, we got a $500 in from them. And then Greater Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church, $1,000 from Greater Mount Zion. So my goodness, we got to keep it rolling. We come a long way, but we still got a long way to go. For those online, please go to 220qbclub.com. You can donate there if you don't live in Tallahassee. Our Cash App is on the screen. We're going to have to use that Cash App because the 220 quarterback Cash App, if we're going to use our nonprofit status, it's being held until we get to there, but we will transfer the money in like before when we bought the iPads and that sort of thing. So please, if you're online, those online donations add up, and we really need to get to this number. So we need every dime we can get. All right. Thank you all for watching. Happy homecoming to those online. And without further ado, I'd like to bring up the Executive Director of the Rattler Boosters, Mr. Selvin Cobb.
Happy homecoming, Wilbur. Okay. Uh, I want to announce to you that the going for today is $24. If you, I know for some of you it's new to some of you, but to others, if you we contribute $1 for every point that we score. So we scored 24 points last week. So we're going to contribute $24. I want to thank Miss Denise Bendros. I know you're here, so just wave your hand. We want to thank you because she caught hers up for the rest of the from the beginning of the game, Norfolk State game until now. So we want to thank you. We also want to thank Miss Pat. Uh, she's here somewhere. So we want to thank you for your contributions this week. So again, we Pat Perkins. Where's Pat? And Janice Perkins also. She's caught us up as well. Okay. A couple of things that we do want to announce, and that's the our volleyball team. Of course, we're 11-0 in SWAC play. Uh, we're 19-6 overall. Uh, we we are. We're killing them out there. So we just need to continue. This weekend, we're going to tackle the state of Alabama. We're going to start off with Alabama State first on Friday, and then on Sunday, we're going up to Huntsville, and we'll take care of Alabama this weekend. On our on 11-4, it was repeated to you last week. We just want to not to forget, but that's our women's first basketball game. And we're playing Howard starting at 6:30. So we need all of you all in the place for the Howard game. Remember, the price for the season tickets, it's $100, and that's for men and women. $100. Okay, the best value you're gonna get anywhere. But for Wednesday night game, it's free. I mean, Monday night game. On Monday night game, it's free. But for the season ticket, it's $100. The men basketball team will be playing Texas Christian University. That's going to be in Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth area. On other notes, we have a few tickets left for the luncheon. Now, the luncheon is always a place where the two rattlers the rattlers and the Wildcats get together for the lunch. And that's going to be the Friday before homecoming. Starts at 11:30. It's going to be in the host hotel. So we're hosting this year. It's going to be in our hotel. That's a classic. I said classic. Did I say not say the classic? Okay. All right. Well, everybody know when Bethune-Cookman and BCC BCU play for the Florida Classic is always in Orlando, and then the Classic is also the Friday. The game, the luncheon is also the Friday before the game. So again, that's Friday, and the price is $100. There are just a few tickets left. Tommy needs one ticket for the luncheon. Okay, I add him to the list. The other thing that we have going for that weekend is a bus. We travel from the host hotel to the game, and that bus is going to be $40 per uh, person. Now that game is we get police escort service to the game, and again that's $40 per person. We are already on the second bus. Okay, so if you're interested in riding the bus, see myself or see Tommy Mitchell. So we got to make sure that we get your name on the bus and we start paying for that as soon as possible. Okay. Uh, and outside of that, that's pretty much your Rattler update. But at this time, what we're going to do, Tommy, I just told him we're on the second bus. Yeah, we're on the second bus. Okay. Yes. Basketball game is on Sunday after the classic. Okay, we okay. Women's basketball in playing UCF in Orlando. Okay, that's Sunday. Okay, we we'll take care of that one. Okay. Okay, that's it. And at this time, we will. Zach, if you come back up here again, and then we'll do the trophies after this. Okay, at this time, we will present the two life membership trophies, two life membership plaques that we have. Again, Clayton, will you get the picture for us? First of all, we're going to take care of the president of the Eddie Jackson Quarterback Club, and that's going to go to none other than Mr. Vaughn Wilson. So Vaughn, if you'd come up. There you go. This is to Mr. Vaughn Wilson. Okay, thank you. Vaughn, this is yours too. Okay. Now at this time, we will present to none other than our head football coach, Coach. I got to remember Mr. James Calhoun Colzie the third. Congratulations, man. Oui. Thank you, boss.
And ladies and gentlemen, I had the privilege of asking Coach Colzie to join, and I just want it to be known to the Rattler Nation, he is the first and only football coach that's a lifetime member of the Florida A&M Rattler Boosters. And here is your booster shirt as well. And please, other coaches, if you are hearing me, we still have plenty good room Plenty good room.
And this also reminds me that our membership is still open. And we are more than welcome to, as he just said, we got plenty good room. All right, thank you, Vaughn.
All right, at this time, we'd like to present our football game MVPs. If I could get the CEO up here, please. While she's on the way, so many people have asked me in here, and so many people online are asking me, how in the hell did you end up on ESPN Saturday? I wonder myself. I was in the yard with my daughter, helping her with a project, and my phone kept ringing from an unknown number. And 2.5 hours notice, we did it. But I'm going to tell y'all, I really was not going to do it. But he said the other announcer played for Southern. So I knew if I didn't have to know anything about Southern and I only had to know about the Rattlers, I can do that job. All right. So I'm going to play Pat Say Jan. And who is this? This is Vanna. My brother was the special teams player of the game. And boy, if you saw him drop that punt inside, boy, that was a beautiful punt. Gunnar Trout. Coach Clayton, you got me? All right, great job, Gunnar. Coco, where they launched the rockets from. Also a special teams MVP from is this the previous week? Gunnar Pan. Baylor Pan, I'm sorry. I'm still on my punter. And in case y'all don't know, this is the guy that gets the ball back to the punters and the kickers so that they can kick it. You know, it's good to get that award because normally the only time y'all recognize the long snapper is if it's bad. It's kind of like offensive lineman. Okay. All right. And he's from Utah. Utah. Our offensive MVP goes to the guys that was making room up front and giving Daniel Richardson time to throw this past weekend. TJ Lee. Gaston County's own. All right, and our other two young men had class special teams MVP. Coach decided we needed two. And this was my shining moment on ESPN. Go back and look at it. As a punter, I saw that ball was low. I said, that's returnable. And Jamari made a believer. Great job, Jamari Gassett, also with his other touchdown reception. And the defensive MVP harassed those quarterbacks from Southern. And he also took away their strength, which was their running game, James Ash. And they're both from Tampa, Florida. All right, Tampa in the house. From the middle. Milton High School? All right. All right, real quick, before we bring up AD Suggs, we want to acknowledge two of our dedicated 220 Quarterback Club members. Lloyd and Ella Cobb were inducted into the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame Friday for their donations to athletics. And next week, we will have the second female drum major in FAMU's Marching 100 history. Dupe is what they call her. Dupe will be here next week, and we expect Dr. Chipman to be here next week. So next week will be dedicated to the Marching 100. So in honor of Lloyd and Ella, who couldn't be here, and you know it's eating them up, they sponsored the trophies today. And Big Daddy had to get his RV straight because you know what he likes to do. So in honor of them, we're gonna show their acceptance speech from the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, because I think people need to see that and hear that to figure out how FAMU helped them get where they are. And then just to get you ready for next week, I'm gonna lead it off with about 30 seconds of Dupe, so y'all can see that this young lady, I went to practice yesterday, and she runs that band. Shelby might be the director, but the way she runs that band. But anyway, a small clip from Dupe, then the presentation from Lloyd and Ella Cobbs, and then the next voice you hear will be the Vice President and Director of Athletics for Florida A&M University, Angela Suggs. So we need a quick adjustments to get the video up, and if we could get the light. What we're gonna do is bring up AD Suggs, and then we will have the videos right after. It's kind of tough to host and be the producer, so just give me a little break here, and we'll have it ready when AD Suggs finishes.
Thank you, Vaughn. Happy homecoming. Congrats, guys. So we're so excited about homecoming week. It pretty much kicked off on Sunday, right after Saturday's victory. For those Rattlers who have come in town for homecoming this week, just wave your hand. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. Couple of things about Saturday. The parade starts at 8 o'clock. It'll start at Orange and Althea Gibson Way, and it's going to be a straight shot down Althea Gibson Way to FAMU Way. They'll make a right and go, what is that, east on FAMU Way, and they'll disembark in the Banneker parking lot right there. So this year it's a straight shot, so don't go to the set. The entire parade is on Althea Gibson Way. Starting right there around Orange Avenue is where they're going to stage, and then go straight down Althea Gibson Way, ending at FAMU Way and disembarking east there. And so also from 6 a.m. until around 11:30ish or noon, do not come to FAMU Way from Monroe or Adams. Don't come there. And if you're coming railroad up to FAMU Way, that's going to be blocked off too. All righty. So don't come that way. Don't come Orange Avenue to come there. Now, one thing about after the parade is over, the construction on the new 700 bed, they're on a timeline. So this could not be avoided. Right after the parade, some 18 wheelers are going to come delivering construction materials, Orange Avenue, Althea Gibson Way to Osceola. Y'all following me? So when the parade is over, don't view that as your green light to come from Orange Avenue on to Althea Gibson Way, trying to get to the stadium because you're waiting until the parade is over. Also, don't come through Osceola from Lake Bradford. Don't come that way either because you're going to be stopped right there at Althea Gibson Way as they deliver those materials to the new site of the, oh, I see that, to the site of the new dorm. So we have that. Gates will open 3 hours ahead of time. No one is there. Game time is 4 p.m. No one, the gates are free and clear at 1 o'clock. And so if you have an opportunity to come in and, you know, have listen to the music that's there, you don't want to wait in the lines between 1 and 2, maybe your shot, right? To come on in and just ease on in to Bragg Stadium. The watch party. The watch party doors to at Lawson Center 2 hours before. So that'll be 2 o'clock. Uh, those tickets are $30. For your friends that don't, I know everyone in here has a ticket to the game, but for your friends that don't have tickets to the game, they can watch the experience there in the Lawson Center. And it'll truly be a watch party. We have DJ Demp that will be there. We have the Jumbotron, but we'll also have screens that are on the floor near the staging area. Those of you familiar with Lawson and how it's set up, say for commencement and other events where the stage is there and we have the other seating and seating on the floor, there will be screens on the side where you can also watch. You don't have to keep looking up the entire time for the watch party. You can look straight ahead. So that'll be a good time. Bragg Stadium parking. We apologize for your experience, many of you, for last weekend. We apologize to you if this happens to you every time. Know that we're working on it. We truly, truly, truly are working on it. We've heard your comments about that. We will look at it. So we have another game in town. This is Tallahassee is the home of two Division I programs, one FBS, one FCS. And, you know, Tallahassee is where the world comes to watch college football, right? And on Saturday, Florida State starts at 3:30. We start at 4 o'clock. And so the same way you come from the north, south, east, or west, whichever way you're coming, the same way you get to Bragg is how you get to Doak, right? And so come on, come on to the parade, pack you some snacks. We have plenty of vendors on site. The vendors will be open for the parade. Make a day of it. For the parade, you must have a Bragg Stadium or Lawson Center credential or one of the ADA credentials for Bragg to park in Bragg for the parade. you must have a Bragg parking credential or a Lawson parking credential in order to park in the Bragg Stadium parking lot or in those Lawson parking spaces for the parade. We understand. I won't be long. It'll just take a second. Let me just run in here right quick. Not Saturday. Today, maybe. Not Saturday. Okay. We are committed to doing everything we can for there to be a great experience, and that's what I have for you for today. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right. Just avoid that Althea Gibson Way between Osceola and Orange Avenue. If you can, just avoid that. Uh, you can come Lake Bradford, come through the neighborhood. You can do that, but and also avoid Martin Luther King, Osceola, Martin Luther King to Althea Gibson Way as well. Because again, the 700 bed is right there on the corner of Martin Luther King and Osceola, is where the new dorm is going, where the gravel lot used to be. Okay. And so you can come, you'll be able to come north and, I'm sorry, you'll be able to come south on Althea Gibson Way from FAMU Way on down Bob Hayes. You can enter there with your brag hang tag. Probably want to avoid Perry. Okaloosa is an option for you as well. Okaloosa is a street that is 1 block over from Osceola. And Okaloosa can get you into Bragg as well. Any other questions? For those of you who hadn't been here in some time, uh, Althea Gibson Way is Wanish Way. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And she's still asking. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. The question, the statement of experience was that stocking the bathrooms, paper towels, and different things, the floor being wet on game day, and yes, ma'am, we received that. On this weekend, there is an event in the stadium on Friday night. And so we will have a crew to come in. There's the band festival with the high school bands. We used to call it Battle of the Bands back in the day. And so there will be 10 high school bands performing on Friday night. So the stadium will be in use, and we will have a crew that will come in to turn over the stadium. And so we, we've taken note of that. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so with safety being top of mind, the question was about a curfew, basically, or an end time for tailgating. And that time, as it relates to just safety and incidents that have happened on other campuses, particularly during large gatherings. Southern was a large gathering expectation for us, homecoming definitely. And so, in order to uh, for the manpower that we have, and to know that Florida State and FAMU are on the footprint, they're calling in agencies from everywhere, even the capacity of the people, right? that are managing and controlling the area, we have to take that into consideration. Many of them will have been there all day. And so to keep the footprint safe, that's where the end time idea came from. And so that it's all a matter of safety in terms of being able to manage the number of people that are there. Midnight is the time. It it w- it was my husband is here. For those of you that may not know, we've been tailgating for 20 years too, right across from gate 17. They came to us and shut us down. So it's equal opportunity shutdown. Midnight is the time. 11:30 was last call. So 11:30 was when they came around and said, you know, it's time. What look, where is your tailgate? All righty, thank you.
Thank you, VP Suggs. And how many people saw her work in the stadium? I could see that from the booth. Boy, she went around, looked like she was trying to see everybody in the stadium. That's we really appreciate that, and people appreciate when the athletic department just at least acknowledges the people that spend their money with the athletic department. Thank you. Um, we got some elected officials in here. Some running for office, some not. But I gotta first acknowledge the mayor's boss, Diane Williams Cox, city commissioner. And also a guy that's really familiar with us, that's always here with us, Mr. Curtis Richardson, Mayor Pro Tem of Tallahassee. And he got on Rattler socks today, boy, I tell you. Wow. Any other elected officials I missed? Okay. At this time, we made the adjustments. We got it right. We're going to see a quick video of Dupe. That is the second female drum major in the history of the March of 100. She will be here next week, as well as Dr. Shelby Chipman for the March of 100. And then we are going to see the Cobbs in their absence. We're going to show their small Hall of Fame acceptance speech, and then we will bring up our head coach. You'll see her in a second.
This is 8 from the sideline. This is 8 from the sideline. Justin. Hi there. Step up, Kawan. Walking back to the block. Should really be 2 off the top. So the line's perfect without y'all right now, though.
Are we able to?
And these horns are too high.
Do 16 from the.
Yeah, I'll check that.
Yeah, we just saved about 45 seconds.
Down. Come down, Brandon. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. BK got it. Yep, there we go. Step up, Brendan. Brendan, step up. and
5, 6, ready, and shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Good, stop. But I want y'all to hop and not step. I want you to hop with it, hop with it, hop with it, hop with it. All right, cool. Let me see it again. 5, 6, ready, and hop with it, hop with it, hop with it, hop with it. Good. That's better. Ready, and boom.
let's get 50.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, and here we go. Let's shake, shake, shake. We go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and right. She go, go. Good. Stop, stop.
All right, that's Dupe. She'll be here next week. And like I said, she's not just a female drum major. She runs that band. And we're going to give a couple minutes to Lloyd and Ella Cobbs. Once again, they are disappointed they weren't able to be here. But especially to this group, it's very important to hear what they said during the Hall of Fame. They went in as contributors, which are supporters of the university.
Hubba hubba. Hello, Rattler Nation. We are so honored to be included with the 11 people that are going to be inducted into Florida A&M Sports Hall of Fame, but we're going in as financial contributors. We first want to thank our Almighty God for the wonderful blessings that He's blessed us with to enable us to give back to FAMU. Now, let me turn to my wonderful wife, my classmate, my high school sweetheart, everything, my backbone, and all of you guys that know one or two things. Ella what? She writes the checks and she signs the checks. Now let's talk about how we got here. I'm going back to 1972 when we were state champs, Fort Pierce Central. We went 13-0 that year, and I so happened to be the captain of the team. Now, at our banquet, I got a chance to meet a wonderful man, Coach Jake Gaither. He came in and he spoke at the banquet. I had never heard anything like that in my life. He talked about blood, sweat, and tears. He talked about being agile, mobile, and hostile. And I tell you, he had me at the end of my seat. After that banquet, he came up to me with my former coach, Coach Charles Hine, who's also from Florida A&M. And he told me in his voice, as I recall, Cobbs, you're coming to Florida A&M, son. And that's where it all started, guys. For the first time I got on my airplane, and we flew to Florida A&M, to the set. And that's where it all started. Now, just for a moment, I want to talk a little bit about the supporting cast. Let me talk about Emmett. Could you stand just for a minute? Emmett and Hattie Alexander, Curtis Taylor, president of the F Club, because you guys nominated us to be reviewed for the Hall of Fame. Thank you so very much. You may be seated. Now, let's have our family members and our guests stand, because you guys gave us the support all these years through ups and downs, but regardless, you have always been there for us. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, let's have Coach Rudy Hubbard, Bogan, stand up for a minute, and my teammates, because you were there when I went down with that season-ending injury. But what did you guys do? You came around and rallied around Big Daddy. You picked me up. You continue to give me that support, and I really appreciate that. Now, Coach Hubbard, we talked about this. You had to man up, because I tried to come back, guys. I love football. I tried to come back. But Coach Hubbard had to look me in the eye and say, Cobbs, you don't have it anymore, son. That injury is just taking you out. You need to go to the classroom. And that's what I did. Thanks, Coach Hubbard. You guys can be seated. I went to the School of Business. And when I went to that School of Business under Dr. Marley, they gave me the skill set and everything that I needed, the knowledge, to go out into that business world and become the first African American to go out with this insurance company as a marketing representative for the East Coast. going from Florida to Maine. And that's when I made all that paper, really, all that paper, to enable us to give back to Florida A&M. Now, my wife wants to make a special dedication, guys. Ella?
I would like to make this dedication to our late daughter, Tresita Alicia Cobbs Christie, and our late grandson, Paul Andrew Christie. Miss you guys. Love you.
And I know they're looking down on us right now, saying, Big Mama and Big Daddy, we're so proud of you. We would be remiss not to thank the selection committee for taking a look at what we've done for this great university and making it all possible. We thank you guys. But overall, guys, if it weren't for God and Florida A&M University, we would not be here. We are so blessed. Thank you so very much. Good night.
That was too good not to let everybody see. That was way too good. Okay, coach, go back over. I'm gonna put Jake back up here. Slide on back. So long, we got a reset for Coach Colzie so he had a full presentation going here. All right. All right. I think he deserves some theme music this time. Buy 'em up for Saturday. That's right. Here we go. Let's go. The head coach of the Florida A&M Rattlers, Coach James Colzie III. Let's go, Rattlers. I'm so glad. We need you up and clapping. It's homecoming.
Good afternoon. A little different Wednesday today than the last week for some strange reason. Um, but I do want to check with Vaughn how many Southern people are on the thing today. Zero. Okay. Um, Last week they were jumping on us. But they last week they had a lot of guesses or
No problems at the Jaguars today.
no
Not a word.
So that's good. Uh, two alumni to support to everybody in Rattler Nations. Again, just want to say thank you for the warm wishes, the congratulations, the overall just positive views that I have received throughout my time here, especially this past week. Obviously, we had a tough game, a couple weeks ago. Then you got 7 days to get yourself ready for the next one, and that's kind of the beast, right? You get about 40 to 41 weeks of working hard and spring training and lifting every single day, and then you're really judged on 10 to 12 weeks every Saturday, right? So you get 40 weeks of work, and you're judged on the other 10 to 12 on how you play that Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening. But our guys did a great job bouncing back. Obviously, you want to win every one of them. You want to win every single game that you play. But uh, I will say our guys definitely were rejuvenated, having the opportunity to come back and play at home. I thought that was extremely important. It was 56 days, boss. Is that what it was? 56 days. So I'm, I'm going to make sure we have some toilet tissue in on the next one. Because no wonder y'all are so mad throughout the week. But you know, obviously last week we were short and sweet, and I want to try to make sure I keep it the same way and allow everyone to ask the appropriate questions. But excited for our football team. Excited to be obviously back at home with the win. It is now homecoming, so happy homecoming to everyone here. But I want to make sure that our guys understand that the biggest thing about homecoming is winning homecoming. So we got a lot of events that are we have to take a part of. Especially last night we had a pep rally, and just so you know, if anybody has any other pep rallies that they want hosted, you might want to go for our AD. Our AD was on a heck of a job last night hosting that pep rally. I didn't even know it was her. I thought it was some sophomore that was up there, and then I come to find out it was our athletic director up there running the whole show. But had a pep rally last night. Got a couple of events that our players have to be at, but needed to be 100% focused on the game for Saturday. We and I'm you know I, you know me, I'm pretty transparent. I wasn't really happy with how we practiced this morning. Thought we had a better practice yesterday, but we still got about 2 or 3 more days to get ourselves ready for Saturday, and I trust that our guys will be able to do that. We are now 2-1 in the SWAC conference. Obviously depending on Jackson State to possibly lose one or another game to put us back in contention. But in order for us to stay in contention, we must continue to win every Saturday. So that's where we're at. A couple guys here I know that are excited to be here, and we had a couple other guys that had to go to class, but I am open for questions since I only took 3 last week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get 33 this week. So I'm here. Yes, sir.
Maurice Jones.
How you doing, Mr. Jones?
Jacksonville to be here at 2:20 today.
Yes, sir.
But I have a question and an observation.
Yes, sir.
I've been complaining to my friends about the use of the tight ends.
Okay.
And Saturday, for the second time, one time was last year against Cookman,
Right.
and Saturday against Southern. I saw the tight end in the backfield
Right.
to kind of give Richardson some protection. But what I saw is that tight end as a lead blocker, he hit that linebacker and he almost went in the north end zone. And the running back ran for about 15 yards.
Right.
But my question is, we need to utilize that position a little more, because to give the quarterback a little more protection, keep him from being hit. Let's put 2 backs in there to have a protected blocker in there for him. He still can catch the ball out the backfield.
Right.
But we didn't utilize that but one time last week. And that tight end hit that linebacker, and he almost, like I said, went in the north end zone. The other observation.
You have 2 observations, or you have an observation and a question?
And a question.
Okay.
The question is, Kelvin Dean.
Yes, sir.
The boy is the truth. I know he got to get his reps, but when we get in that red zone, we need to have our most experienced back in there to keep from fumbling. The other running back has fumbled twice this year in that situation. But we need to have Dean in there, the most experienced back, to carry that ball because he will not fumble it, and he, like we saw Saturday, he can catch it out the backfield. So that's my other observation and question.
Yes, sir.
And as I told you the first time you came to the 220 back in August, and I just make it an observation again. The same people in here who smiling and congratulating your coach lose homecoming in Cookman, and you think last week was bad. But I just want to remind you, because that was 60 days ago. So these ain't so friendly rivals. You're going to see everything in the world thrown at you. All right, Coach.
Well, I'll start from there. When you walk into my office, well, when you leave my office, and there's a quote right on the left hand side of my door, and it's from my dad. And my dad, it's in quotes. It says, "You better win." That's all. That's all he got. And then I walk out, I slap it, and then I go outside. Um, the second thing, as you mentioned, Kelvin Dean, and Kelvin Dean he is one of our most, not just experienced backs, but one of our most experienced players. And there are times, and I have to say this to the media and countless people. We have so many offensive players that we can use. And when you get to a point in the game, you have to use that hot, that the player with the hottest hand or receiver that's making the most plays. And believe it or not, the fumble that you mentioned early in the game, at that time, that was Stat Franklin, and he had made a great run. And I say it every week, right? We gotta respect the football, take care of the football, protect the football, and I can say this: our guys are not fumbling on purpose. You know what I mean? But there are times when you get yourself in a situation that you gotta cover up the football, and you are correct when you say the veterans realize that a heck of a lot more at times, right? And most of the time. So we were late in the game, and I'm not saying we heard you on Saturday night, but who was in the game late in the game? Kelvin D, right? So, and you are correct. Experience, it matters, especially in times when it's important times. And then now on the first thing you had mentioned, and I'm going to give you a little bit of secret, but a lot of people already know that person that you said was a tight end that hit him, that was actually an offensive lineman. We had put an extra offensive lineman in the game that lines up as a tight end, and we've done that, multiple times throughout the season. It just he hit somebody this past Saturday, and people noticed it. But that was actually Big Nathan Gates, offensive lineman. He's from California. So, but we put an 89 on him, but he's not number 89. He's 69 or 79 in the program. But Hunter did a great job. He's been doing that throughout the season, and he's a redshirt freshman. So we've kind of given him a couple plays here, couple plays there. We want to make sure he has success, give him a couple more plays. So he's doing a great job, and hopefully, over the next couple years, 2 or 3 years, he can be one of the top linemen in the country for us. Yes, sir.
Why was Richardson taken out and Junior put in?
Well, I'll say this. A lot of times when you replace people, you think it's because somebody has done something bad. Well, that was not the case, right? We make changes throughout the game. Right? We change offensive linemen throughout the game. We change wide receivers throughout the game. We change running backs throughout the game, right? So it's more of a reward for Junior for what he's done over the last 2 or 3 weeks, preparing, doing everything imaginable, right, to get himself ready to go. So made a decision in the third series of the game, he was going to go in. Nobody else made that decision except myself. He had a series where he was going to do what he needed to do. He did that, and then we took him out, just like we do at every position on our football team. So there's nothing more of a difference than anything else. That Daniel Richardson did nothing wrong. We didn't take away any of his rhythm. As you saw, he finished with 3 touchdowns in the game. He threw for over 275 yards. But ultimately, that was my decision because, again, I wanted to reward a guy who had been doing exactly what we've asked him to do for the last 5 to 6 weeks. Now, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned this earlier in the year that we were trying to find ways to get Junior in the football game, but we couldn't because we had fallen behind the first 2, 3 weeks of the season. So, ultimately my decision wanted to give Junior a series. He got the series, and then we went back with our starter, as I mentioned, like we have done for every single position on our football team. Yes.
Yeah, Coach,
Yes.
Freddie Miller.
Yes, sir.
I just want to congratulate you on keeping exciting football at Brad Stadium and Ken Riley Field. We appreciate y'all protecting the field. We still undefeated at
Yes,
home.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Now, I think right now we're the second longest winning streak in the country, but we have like 3 or 4 more home games. So we ultimately might be tied by the end of the year. So, we got this one, we got Mississippi Valley, we got Alabama, right? So, they base it on how many consecutive victories you have. So we're tied with one of the Dakota schools, which has already played a lot of home games. So we might be able to catch up to them.
Well, keep up the good work, and we appreciate our new AD.
Yes, me too. Thank you. Same here.
Good afternoon, Coach. I would just like
Yes, sir.
the group to recognize O.T. Sampson, one of our former greats.
Quarterback.
I mean, yeah.
Where is he?
Delancey.
Where's Sampson at? Oh, how you doing? I got you. How you doing, boss? How you doing, man? He's here every week. Just about. Good to see you, man. I'm a blazer and a pocket square guy. I like that. I like that right there. I do.
How you doing, Coach?
Doing well.
Over here.
My offensive lineman. What's up?
You better believe it. You better believe it. Hey, how about injury report first?
Well, I'll say this: we don't necessarily go into detail as far as injuries go. There's a couple other reasons, not just not telling the other people, but violations that you can maybe cross. But we're extremely healthy. We got some nicks and some bruises after a hard fought football game. We might be down one guy this upcoming Saturday, and I'm pretty sure it won't take too long to find out who that may be.
Okay. No, it was about that offensive line.
No, they're good. They're good. They're good.
Hey, but,
They're fine. They don't have time to get hurt.
Okay. I paid attention to. We call it an H back.
Yes, sir.
That big guy in there, and he did a great job there in blocking. And I said, well, he put a guy in the backfield, but everybody I said I call it H back.
Yes. Yes.
And he did a great job. That means our offensive line can stay a little bit longer on the blocks when they do, because you got that big H guy.
Absolutely.
Come in and hit somebody. If they can't stop it, and some plays I said, we need to take out the playbook. Because that running game over that, your right side, it look like your left side is more stronger than your right side over the 7-1. And, I hate to call numbers out.
Grable's one of the best in the country.
Right.
And for obvious reasons, you make calls to hopefully have success, right? And those guys are also on scholarship as well. You got coaches on full-time money over there as well. And, for the most part, I thought we did a much, much better job running the football at the end of the game. We had some fourth down calls that we wish we may have had back.
Okay, I noticed they were staying a little bit low when they made contact.
Well, they did, and I told you had to make sure they had to stay low.
That's right.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, sir.
First of all, Coach Wilson, you know her?
Of course, that's the head coach. I'm
Yeah,
just
head
the
coach.
yes.
Okay, so I want them coming for her. When are you going to, not you, but when are the players going to learn that they need to cut out those small, little unnecessary fouls?
How much did we run Sunday? Hey, believe me, I'm gonna run them until I get tired, because that's how much we had to run Sunday. We ran for it. You had 3, if I'm not mistaken, we had one from an offensive lineman. We had one face mask, which to me is a more plain penalty than anything else. He reached out, and then we had 2 offside penalties that from the same person, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Now you
Yes.
yes, sir.
The other comment is Richardson. Can he run the ball?
He can, but doesn't run it well. You know. And have you seen Daniel? Like I know we've seen him, but have you seen him? You know, he's a guy that you love for him to take off, but slide. He a couple times he tried to run a guy over. I kind of flinched myself, right? Because he can run. Excuse me, let me go back. He knows how to avoid pressure. But as far as running, like the mobile quarterbacks that we see on TV, I'd like for him not to do that as much, but just get down when he gets close. But he does do a good job of extending plays. He does a good job of recognizing pressure, but he doesn't run as well as some of these other guys that we face on a week by week basis.
Cozy, cozy, cozy.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Um, I know everybody think about gonna get mad with me before I finish, before I sit down, but that's all right, cause y'all know I don't care. I told you earlier in the season, I'm gonna keep coming and keep coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Said it. Um, just discipline. You got to get a handle on the discipline. Y'all hear me, boys, right? I want you to take it back to your teammates. If you don't control your discipline, you're going to always fall short. You got to understand that those unnecessary 15-yard penalties will cause you to lose the game. Every time you get one, you pushing them closer to the end zone, their end zone.
Or further away from our end zone.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Closer to for them to get in.
Yes, ma'am.
But you got to understand, first half, you got to play all 4 quarters. All four. Not half of the season, not half of the game, rather, but you got to play what some of y'all call it all 60 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
I want y'all to play 120 minutes. Y'all got to play it all. Every one of them. This is Florida A&M University. We don't lose. We don't lose. Now, I don't know what punishment he give y'all when y'all mess up. If I ever come out there on that field, if I come out there on that field, y'all gonna get it. Because let me tell you, when it comes down to what I deal with in life, God, family, FAMU football, and if y'all fall short, I'm coming at you.
All righty. Yes,
I
Edwin
might have,
Moore, she did say on the field.
I might have second thoughts on the toilet paper. I might need to hold off.
Coach, we got a
Yes.
comment online from Ishmael says he's looking forward to a rushing TD this season.
Me too. You know, um, probably should have had one on before the fumble on Saturday. But we fallen short in that category. That's for sure.
Um, red zone issues, but not sure Dean is the solution. Some multiple players had turnovers at the end of fairly decent longer drives, including Dean and Richardson. That was a comment.
Yeah, Daniel threw it. The interception Daniel threw. He thought it was going to be another. They were running a blitz, but a different guy. A different guy got over the top. So tough mistake for Daniel Richardson. And then the fumble with Thad Franklin. Again, he was running hard. He didn't put the ball away.
Our good friend Brian Fulford from ONG Strike Zone. Yes, we do have 2 cameras today. Kevin Bull Butler says, ask coach if he thinks we can put more than 20-something points on the board for homecoming.
For financial sakes, I'm definitely hoping so, but I'm not a bulletin board material person. So we'll talk about it after the game, but I'm hoping that we can.
All right. We got time for about, we got time for 3 more questions.
You have probably addressed it before, but it seems like we're getting a lot more defensive backs making tackles as opposed to the linemen. Is that just abnormal, or you've addressed it before? So,
Well, no, I will say, in the beginning of the year, we were having some issues with the run game, so we had to add some people to the box. So the Deco Wilsons, the Corey Colliers, those are our safeties that were added to the box just to help with the run. We're blessed to have Kendall Bowler, TJ Huggins, guys that could have that been covering as long as they've been covering. So we've just added to help with the run. It's a great observation. We've just been adding to help with the run game, which is why you see us not giving up as much rushing yards than we may have been giving up in the past. Yes, sir.
At Jackson State is a young man, he had orange and green on. I was ready to fight him by the time the game was over. Every play, offensive, defense, he wanted you to, what they call it? Blitz.
Okay.
What's your policy on blitz and what have you? I tried to tell the guy, I told you don't know no football. I said, because all you saying is blitz, blitz, blitz every game. So what's your policy on that?
Well, I think it's how the game's going, right? I mean, at the time of the game, it was 21-20. When the game was going on, we had held them as long as we could. We actually did blitz a couple more times and got some sacks. But when you blitz now, that means you're leaving some people out there on the island, right? So, and at that stage of the game, right, we didn't want to give up anything over the top, right? So, and we had it. We blitzed a couple more times against Southern, but you know, for my 3 years that I've been at Florida A&M, we've been able to put pressure on the quarterback without blitzing, right? And as I mentioned, right, when you blitz, there's a potential you can get beat deep over the top. So I put it my philosophy is to blitz when they don't know we're blitzing. So in different situations, but I'm not a big blitz person because I think we got guys that could put pressure on the quarterback without doing that.
Coach, you addressed having more people in the box.
Yes, sir.
That you have to give up something for that.
Yep.
And so looking at the Southern game, there were a lot of receivers wide open that they missed.
Okay.
Now, if this quarterback can throw at TSU, how are we going to address that?
Wow, you want me to give up game plan stuff now, right? You are right. You are right. In regards to a guy who he throws the ball a heck of a lot better than the guy from Southern. We held Southern to 80 yards passing. But I think for us, you got to go week by week and change who you're playing against, right? So that's we know they throw the ball pretty well. They got a very, very good tight end. So our aim and point is to make sure we cover the people that need to be covered. There you go.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing, boss?
Me and you have talked, and we really don't have time because I'm a minister and you're a football coach.
Yes, sir.
And plus, that's one of my bosses right there.
I see.
So they keep me busy too. But I just want to let you know that thank you for your homecoming. This is your first being the head
Yes.
coach.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to rally around you regardless of what happens.
Thank you very much.
God is good
Thank you very much.
at all times.
Thank you very much.
Because this university ain't going nowhere.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, last one from
Miss Vicky.
Good afternoon, Rattlers. Happy homecoming. Not a question. I just want to share this. I've said it to the young men over at the table. We don't lose and brag.
No.
Just pretend that every stadium is brag,
There you
and
go.
we'll be all right.
There you go. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Again, thank you very, very much. Looking forward to seeing everybody Saturday. And,
Coach, one more thing that
oh,
was
sorry.
on a couple of times online, and they said they saw Jeremiah Pruitt a little more Saturday than they had seen, and will they possibly see more Jeremiah Pruitt?
You know, Jeremiah's. We mentioned the tight ends, right? And you know, he's one of our three good ones. You know, he got an opportunity to make some catches. You know, and we got a chance to see him what he can do once he catches the football. You know, now when you throw to Jeremiah Pruitt, you miss out on some other guys, right? You know, jokingly, right? You know, we talk about all the weapons that we have, but we only have one ball. You know, and while he was flourishing and doing an amazing job, you know, we had some other guys that weren't necessarily getting the football. So, you know, our coordinators have a really, really tough job trying to make everybody happy. Well, you know how hard it is to make everybody happy, right? And so it's tough to do, but you know, I'm extremely happy for Jeremiah. He's been working his tail off to put himself in that situation, and hopefully we can get him in the end zone soon enough. Thanks, everybody. See everybody Saturday. Make sure we got safe travels across the board.
Great job, Coach Colzie. Thank you. We have another Grand Rattler. Barbara Norwood's sister June is now a Grand Rattler. Thank you for everyone who continues to give to our campaign. We have to support our athletic department. Nobody else is going to do it. Just for reference, I remember Dr. Ammons once telling me this. He said when he worked for Dr. Humphreys, when they would allocate the money from the state every year, they would sit and figure out what were they going to do with the extra money on campus, what were they going to improve. Well, it was during Dr. Ammons' administration, I believe, where state funding had decreased so much that our university was actually getting more money from tuition than state funding. Let me say that again. Sometime during Dr. Ammons' administration, our university got less money from state funding than we did tuition, which used to not be the case. So the reason it's such important to recognize people like Lloyd and Ella Cobbs and Ricardo Kinsey and all of you who continue to give, that's because we have to support FAMU and make it what we want it to be. And trust me, if you want to keep winning, you're going to have to keep funding, because zero of that money can be used for football or basketball, any athletic program. Say that again. It decreased from our primary source of our university, state funding, somewhere during Dr. Ammons' administration. Now we rely heavily on our tuition. And if you wonder why we can't go up on the student athletic fees so easily, because the university needs that money. You can't just support athletics, because there is no athletic department without the first name, which is the university. This is why I encourage everyone to continue to help support our university. Yes, life member boosters, alumni association. If you truly love FAMU like you say you do, we need a little of that green coming back to the hill. If we want AD Suggs to continue to provide for our athletes and for us to provide for our athletes, it's going to take us donating. I'm preaching to the choir in here. I just want this message to get out to as many people as possible. As HBCUs, we've always lacked. We've always made a way. We've had great people like this gentleman here who helped find a way. But as things get tougher, we got to stiffen up ourselves, and we got to dig a little deeper. Dang, that was Obama line. We got to dig a little deeper. But to everyone who has invested and donated to the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club as we continue our mission to try to support FAMU athletics. Thank you for every single dollar. Every single dollar is appreciated. You can be assured that it will go as it has always gone. Every penny has gone to where it's supposed to go. We make sure of that. We want to make sure that we have a great homecoming. Everyone be safe. And then I would like to bring up our CEO for a very, very special presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hello, Rattlers. I just want to also announce another Grand Rattler, $1,000. Okay, will the members of the Greater Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church please stand up? Up here on Saxon Street. Did he leave already? Okay. Well, we do have $1,000 from the Greater Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church right up the street on Saxon Street. Elder Jimmy Wilson is our pastor. And also, we do have a member from Greater Mount Zion. Ms. Josie, would you start making your way up here? We have a member from Greater Mount Zion who has been a loyal FAMU supporter since Jay Gaither days. She and about 7 other ladies from our church would climb on a bus, and that was not when they didn't have the air-conditioned buses. They would go to every game all over wherever FAMU was playing. And she still is a diehard Rattler, has been a season ticket holder for years. Today is her birthday. Let's sing to her while she's coming up. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Josie. Happy birthday to you. Let me tell you something else about Miss Josie here. She, at one time, was the kitchen coordinator at the church, and she and I both serve on the hospitality committee. And one day, when we were cleaning up, I said, well, if y'all got any greens and fried chicken left, I need to take that home to Eddie. So after that, they started everywhere I was around or not. Anytime there was a dinner at the church, she would make a plate for Eddie with chicken and greens. So she said, and then one day she called me and said, one Saturday, and she said, well, I cooked some greens. Is it okay if I bring some to him? I go, of course, anytime, because I do not do greens. So I started calling her his boyfriend, her girlfriend and her boyfriend. But yeah, but she's good people. And she's been supporting 220 for the last about, 5 or 6 years. Yeah, so I just want y'all to see her. She's really special. Okay.
All right, Selvin.
Miss Josie Smith is also our new member of Rattler Boosters. She joined today. Okay. One other thing, Larry. I have in my hands, there are 3 DSOs at the university. There's the National Alumni Association, there's Rattler Boosters, and then there's a foundation. This is for the Florida A&M University National Alumni Association. Larry is back there. Larry, will you raise your hand? These are applications to become a member of the Leon County Association. So Larry, if you're not a member of the NAA, please see me before you leave, give you an application. Okay? Thank you.
All right, on Friday, don't forget, Frenchtown Rising, Angela Wimbush, DJ Lil Boy, Joe Bullard, and headlined by Confunction. All right, everybody pull out your tickets. Mr. Zach? You don't have to be here to win it. You bought the ticket, your name's on there.
I would like to introduce to some of you and present others Miss Patricia Gavin. She is the creator of this basket and donator of this basket. And she has she has her own boutique. It's Patricia's Unique Boutique. And I'm telling you, ladies, she's got something for you in there, Madam Street. So I asked her if she would join us since she gave us this. Yes, ma'am, I'm gonna shake it up. And I wanted her to actually pull the winner. So, yes, please. I'm sorry.
I got something to say to the new athletic director. Me and my husband parked on the end of the end zone, and this guy has this big truck. My husband drives a truck too, and he pulls over the concrete thing that stops the car. He pulls his truck over that, so we can't back our truck all the way in, and it's not fun getting in and out of that big truck, and I got to go back there and tell him to move. Thank you. Um, Mr. Ansley's been trying to get me to join for a long time. Not a long time, but he brought me my applications last week. But before the season started, I told Mr. Ansley, I said, Mr. Ansley, I want to do something. He said, what? I said, I'm not going to tell you. I said, when I get ready, I'll call you. So that's what I did. I went everywhere around Tallahassee, Sam's and Walmart and all the other little places that I could find FAMU paraphernalia. And I put the basket together. And I called Mr. Ansley and told him to come on, I'm ready. So So I did two baskets. I did one for the Alumni Association to raise money for the scholarship because Mr. Ansley and I worked together over at Godby. He retired long before I did, but I retired 3 years ago from Godby. So I did another basket. We will be drawing on tomorrow down at Patricia's Unique Boutique. We're having like a little block party. So if you want to stop by between 4 and 7, bring your chair because we're going to be outside. So come on down. We have a little refreshments. We're going to have a little live entertainment before Friday night. So we're going to have live entertainment down at Patricia's Unique Boutique. So if you don't have anything else to do tomorrow, come on by and we'll break bread. And if you don't win today, you can buy another ticket tomorrow and give you another try.
So without without further ado, now, Miss Pat, I'm going to ask you, don't look at these tickets. I just want you to put your hand in and select one, and y'all can come in and shake. I don't care.
980278. And the name is Teresa, what's that? Borger? Burger? Oh, that's Burger.
Teresa Berger. Is she here? It's okay. We will give her her basket and we'll deliver it. And incidentally, we raised, or you raised, $750. Hold that one out. Again, thank you, Ms. Gavin, for your generosity.
One other thing, I've already started on next year's basket. So we're going to get that out the beginning of the season. We're going to get that one out by the first home game so we can do a little better than we did, well, a lot better than we did this year because we didn't have a whole lot of time. So it's already in the works. So put your 10, 20, $30, you know, you can buy one at each home game, and then that way And we will have the drawing again at the same time during homecoming week. And thank you.
Thanks again, Ms. Gabbard. And thank you all, Rattlers.
Once again, don't forget Monday we have the basketball game. It's free. It's free. It's free Monday, correct? Is Monday free? Monday is free. Coach Gordon wants, and when you can get your season ticket, the game free, but you got to buy a season ticket to get out of the Lawson Center. We'd like to thank some local businesses who came who are looking to partner with FAMU. One is ASAP Smoke Shop, and the other is Skyline. You all know on Orange Avenue and Lake Bradford Road, that nice new convenience store, gas station. Well, one of the owners of that is here, and they came in and asked me where was AD Suggs, because they want to be on the scoreboard and all that good stuff. And I said, just sit down, she'll be here. So thank you all for, FAMU is a great investment. I can tell you, FAMU is a great investment. And we certainly want to thank you all for coming, and we're here every Wednesday. Once again, it's a pleasure to be with you. My good friend Stephen Campbell, he called me apologizing. He felt like he started that beef in the chat. I said, no, that's the Jaguars just jealous. Why would they even be on our broadcast? But none of them are here today, Steve. None of them. Anyway, we'll see you all in Bragg Stadium. Okay. These are two of the greatest men in FAMU athletics. Of course, our quarterback, our starting quarterback, our All-American quarterback on this side. We just won't worry about his stats. We just our All-American. And then what's amazing about this young man, it's almost like every Hall of Famer, young and old, have some experience with him. It's just amazing that to be relevant this long after he graced FAMU. Jake Gaither was quite a great man. If you hear the stories like Lloyd Cobbs, he basically went there and told Lloyd he was coming to FAMU. And Lloyd listened. So we thank you for that. It was very deliberate to have this display. Once again, these two banners are part of the Crump display. The Crump Gallery is what we're calling it. Ben Crump donated the monies for this. We unveiled the first phase of it at the Hall of Fame this year. We had Lua Bartley, Andre Dawson, Costa Kittles, Amber Alford, Coach Veronica Wiggins, Coach Claudette Farmer, Coach Hansel Tooks, Dr. Joe Ramsey, Ken Riley. Just a great, great display to maintain our history and the goal that the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame has for it. And one of the things that sold Attorney Crump on it is that we can take this display in our high schools and middle schools and elementary schools and display it and let those young people understand the greatness that have come from FAMU. So this is just the first phase. I think we have about almost 20. That's like a quarter of the ones that we're going to have. Great, great photo of Bob Hayes as well. So anyway, out there, Gibson. So anyway, the gallery is in our warehouse right now. It doesn't have a home. It's a traveling gallery. Yeah. And also, if you have an organization, you can rent it from the Hall of Fame. We'll come set it up, and you can use it, and that's how we'll raise money for the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. It's very intentional to do it that way. FAMU Sports Hall of Fame never wants to go to a corporate sponsor or get out there fundraising. we don't want to cloud that field. So we find some other little innovative way to try to make sure that it has money to maintain and do what it needs to do. Yes, sir. For those online, he says in the Capitol Grill in Town Center in Jacksonville, there's a permanent portrait of Bob Hayes up there. So make sure if you go in that restaurant, you thank the people for having that up there. That's how we continue to get people to help us recognize our history. Do I have any tickets for the game? Yes, we do. We got tickets for the game Saturday. Go to the Lawson Center and say you want a watch party ticket because it's going to be a fantastic event in the Lawson Center. Once again, don't forget there is a watch party in the Lawson Center. If you don't have a ticket to the game and you still want to be on the footprint, you can still go over to Perry Street and get something to eat and come in there and do the tailgates. You can't bring it in. You got to eat it before you come in, like the game. There will be concessions at the Lawson Center. Mr. Mitchell? There. All right. The basket raised $821. $821 for the basket. Good job. Everyone be safe this weekend. There's a report that there are tickets still remaining for the north end zone.